fearfully and wonderfully made. Ooh, I like that. I said it says we've been fearfully and wonderfully made. I don't care what side of town you grew up on. I don't care what side of the tracks you grew up on. I don't care about the projects you grew up in. It does not matter how educated or uneducated you might be. You might have a PhD or no D behind your name. You are a masterpiece. You can work on Wall Street, shop on Canal Street, live on 114th Street, sleep in a penthouse or a cardboard box in the alley. You are a masterpiece. You and I have been made not only in the image of God, a meo Dio, but we have been handled by God's own hands. Everything about us has been designed and specifically and uniquely made. We have God's fingerprints all over us. Just the other day, while watching World News Tonight, Bessie, a story aired about the first new smartphone made in America. Down in Fort Worth, Texas, the twin city of my hometown, Dallas, Motorola has opened a new cell phone manufacturing plant, which builds the smartphones. Somebody talk back to me if you can. Not only is the phone assembled in America, but all of the necessary parts are shipped from plants around America. This was a big story because up to now, these phones had been made in China. And at the end of the story, Diane Sawyer remarked with enthusiasm, made in America. Brothers and sisters, you and I were not made in America. We were not made in China or Japan. We were made in glory. We are part of God's creative glory. We were not a part of some mass production. We did not come off of an assembly line. God created us one by one. One by one. He handpicked us from the dust of the earth, added a little water to it, and turned us into a lump of clay. And after turning us into clay, he gave us our own unique design. He formed us and shaped us just like he wanted us to be. Tell your neighbor, you are just what God wanted you to be. Everything we are is because of God. So don't let anybody tell you anymore that you are worthless. Don't let anyone else tell you that you don't have it going on. You are a masterpiece. Tell 3 people I've got it going on. Yeah, I got it going on, baby. Help me, Holy Ghost. Come on, somebody shout, I got it going on. I don't want to hold you too long, but the first thing I need to tell you about is the potter's purpose. In verse 3, watch this. The prophet Jeremiah tells us that he went down to the potter's house. And the first thing he noticed upon his arrival was that the potter himself was working on his wheel. The potter was in the process of making something. The potter was making a vessel for the purpose he had in mind. And what this tells us is that when God made us, he had a purpose in mind. Our lives are lives with purpose. When the Lord created us, he had something specific he wanted to do with our lives. Every last one of us are here by divine design. When God placed us on the wheel of creation, he had something in particular he wanted to make out of us. That's why there's no one else like you on the face of the earth. Look at your neighbor and tell him, there's nobody like me. You may have an identical twin who looks like you, walks like you, sounds like you, talks like you, act like you. And some folk, when they see your twin, may get the 2 of you confused. But please be assured that twin is not you. They have their own DNA. And God used a totally different piece of clay. For every piece of clay, God has something specific in mind. All of our lives do not go in the same direction. We're not all called to do the same thing in life. The same is true in the church. We're not all called to the same office.